A side of the pyramids the Google debunkers don't want you to know about. Harnessing energy from inside the earth and transmitting it wirelessly around the world for free. The Giza power plant theory. We finally have the scientific and just plain commonsensical proof to back it up. Even Tesla's experiments of this very nature were successful, but his work mysteriously vanished after he passed away. As it turns out, Tesla didn't invent this technology. He just rediscovered it over 5,000 years later. Pyramids. Don't y'all get a little half chub when I talk about them? Cause I sure do. We're fed the narrative that they were built as tombs for pharaohs, but there's just endless evidence against that. I spat 10 unbelievably raw facts about the pyramids in a previous video, which were all true, but of course the Google debunkers desperately tried to prove them wrong. We'll let them have their fun so that we can focus on exploring history with a critical mind. Take, for example, the Great Pyramid of Giza, the biggest one there is, which is said to have been built as a tomb for Khufu, a pharaoh who ruled 4,500 years ago. Despite it having zero characteristics of actual Egyptian tombs, you know, where real mummies of pharaohs were actually found. Like in the Valley of Kings, a complex of underground tombs complete with enormous grand entrances and hallways adorned with hieroglyphs, beautiful wall art, and intricate architecture commemorating pharaohs like Tutankhamun and Ramses, whose bodies were found among dozens of others in elegant sarcophagi in this valley. And here we have the Great Pyramid of Giza. Narrow tunnels, awkwardly angled walkways, and passageways you literally have to crawl to get through. And those wood steps you see, we added ourselves in recent times because they were literally unwalkable when first discovered. Strangely designed and although impressive, kinda plain looking inner chambers. No artifacts, no hieroglyphs, no carvings, no wall art was ever found inside of Giza. In fact, not a single mummy was found in this pyramid, or any Egyptian pyramid for that matter, and yes, that's a fact, go search it up. We're told that they were raided by thieves, and that's why there's nothing left. Really? Did the thieves steal the carvings and paint on the walls too? The sarcophagus in Giza, where they assume Khufu's mummy was kept and also stolen by those pesky thieves, was this plain looking granite box in a room with flooring and walls that were cut with greater precision than the box itself. Ancient Egyptians saw pharaohs as gods, so yeah, let's just stuff the one that we made a whole ass pyramid for into this crude box with narrow chambers, tiny shafts, and no stories or wall art commemorating their death. Here's what King Tut's tomb looked like, and King Ramses. Intricate art and masterfully designed, both of which were found in the Valley of Kings. And here's the tomb of the guy they dedicated the biggest structure in the world for. Makes perfect sense, right? On the other hand, King Ramses had some of the most massive statues built in his name, weighing up to 1,000 tons that we see remnants of sprawled all throughout ancient Egypt. Meanwhile, the man who had the largest tomb in history has only one recovered statue we've ever found. It's 3 inches tall. Let me get this straight. Giza, the most epic and just painstakingly difficult structure on the planet, was a tomb with absolutely no characteristics of a tomb for a pharaoh with no visible remaining presence in Egypt and whose body was never found. Other characteristics of the pyramid tells us it had a very different purpose, one that's turned a fringe theory into a scientific one. The pyramid was aligned perfectly with true north to less than a degree of accuracy, architecture matched only with modern engineering. The base of the pyramid is perfectly leveled to within 3/4 of an inch, something that's again only possible with like laser technology today. A structure that was made with 2.3 million stone blocks weighing between 2 and 80 tons each, built within allegedly 25 years. Meaning they'd have to place 10 stones an hour every hour for 25 years non-stop to achieve that. That's 1 stone every 6 minutes. People love to refute this with, oh, they had slaves, like it's some magic silver bullet, but I think they might be forgetting about a little thing called logistics. As in, how do you physically coordinate 20, 30, 50,000 people to lay a colossal stone every 6 minutes, day and night for 25 years non-stop? Yeah, slaves, bro. They had slaves. Trust me, bro, is even more ridiculous than these fringe theories. Each side of Giza is also about 755 feet long and are all within 2 inches of the same length as each other. That's a 99.98% range of accuracy. Once again, on par or even better than modern architecture. It also doesn't actually have 4 sides. It has 8, which cast shadows, making them visible only during the equinox. Which definitely ain't no coincidence. It's a proven fact that the ancients were obsessed with celestial events like the equinox. That's the time of year when the length of day equals the length of night, the first day of spring and fall. There are 43,200 seconds of daylight during that time. That's 12 hours of the Egyptian sun god blessing them with daylight on the most important day of the year. An absolutely sacred number by any means. Now, if you get the perimeter and the height of the pyramid, multiply them by that number, you get the circumference and polar radius of the earth within a 99 99.3 to 99.7 range of accuracy, absolutely negligible margins of error, essentially making Giza a scale model of the Earth. It's also placed at the center of landmass of the world, passes through the light speed coordinate, and a whole list of other coincidences. Skeptics absolutely insist these are all just coincidences, and just pseudo-archaeologists forcing facts together until something fits. So what do all these measurements mean? Well, firstly, they clearly had some knowledge and technology that we don't give them credit for, and the simple truth is, no one in history would ever make something so precise by accident, because we see the same in the materials used for constructing the pyramids. They're the same materials we use today for electrical conductivity, which is no stranger to the ancient world. In 1934, an artifact known as the Baghdad Battery was uncovered in Iraq. It consisted of a ceramic pot, a copper tube, and a rod of iron, which when combined with an electrolyte solution, something as simple as a potato, as I talked about in my video about powering the galaxy with potato batteries, it can produce an electric current. From an artifact dated to over 2,000 years old. Ancient batteries, just like the pyramids. The science behind the Giza power plant is a lot to take in, so I'm gonna give you some time to breathe before I get into it, and check me out to see if it's up.